And what that means is there's going to be a bunch of special guests. So this is going to be a very special performance. Right now, he's going to open it up, so please make him happy. The piano from Savannah, Victor Wainwright.
On the way back in the fight.
Yep.
At the turn of the century, the eastern seaboard from Virginia to Texas was dotted with lumber camps. These lumber camps provided the raw materials needed to rebuild a nation that the Civil War had badly disfigured, or in the case of the South, literally reduced to ashes. There was an industrial revolution, a massive expansion of the railroad systems. The need for timber had become a top priority, and a national chain of lumber camps grew up overnight. Swing that axe, Joe. Governed by state and federal laws, they existed many miles deep into the woods and away from the rest of society. They functioned underneath of their own laws and were far less concerned with the moral fiber of their citizens. In fact, anyone willing to work long and grueling hours under minimal safety considerations were welcomed. Often these camps were run by private companies with little concern for the health or well-being of the lumberjacks. In turn, where you came from, your criminal records, etc., well, that didn't really matter. As long as you could swing an axe for 10 hours a day, no one really cared. Now, swing that axe, Joe! Before the days of the logging trucks, these camps depended on railroad lines to get their product from town to town. Indeed, their entire existence revolved around the railroad. Aside from shipping timber, railroad cars were often used as dormitories, mess halls, and on the weekends, hastily constructed saloons. These saloons featured untaxed whiskey in large barrels, at least a couple boxcars worth of local working girls, and over in the corner of almost every one, an upright piano. Now these lumberjacks, very few of them were musically inclined, so a brand new circuit for piano players was born. These piano players played loud and fast, long. Their left hand often imitating the familiar chugging rhythm of a train, while the right hand often banged out simple counterpoint phrases. Can I give it a try for y'all? All right, let's see. This style was known as such colorful names: Dudley Joe, Texas Stomp, Drive 'em Down, and ultimately Boogie Woogie. The men who played these styles had equally colorful names: Romeo Nelson, Raghead, Three Finger Sam. There were very few named Neil. Most of them could fight as well as they played and were often forced to when confronted by drunken patrons. In these places, Piano Man was more than just a musician. He also told stories and relayed the latest news from other lumber camps, often managed the financial affairs of the working girls. Sometimes they had bands too. And speaking of trains, I'd like to start bringing some of mine out. Would that be all right? Ladies and gentlemen, this fella has been with me for over 10 years. I want you to please show a lot of love to my best friend, Mr. Sweet Tea, Terrence Grayson. And although the style may have originated in the lumber camps, it wasn't long before this rough and crude style found its way into the cities. Indeed, it became a favorite style at rent parties and little hole-in-the-wall saloons. It was still looked down upon by the more educated players, wasn't even accepted in the brothels where jazz and striding played. But boogie woogie and blues piano, well, that grew up in places where the pimps and prostitutes and drug dealers went when they got off work. Going right now as I bring out another two of my favorite guys in the whole wide world, and I've been playing music with them for a long time too. Put your hands together for Pat Harrington and Dave Gross on the guitar. Time, ladies and gentlemen, we couldn't do it without him. My favorite drummer in the whole wide world. Put your hands together for Sam Bucks on the drum. Played the piano his entire life. Boogie woogie, blues, and honky tonk, genuine rock and roll. I'll never forget him sitting next to me on the piano as a child. His left hand slammed down, rattling on the piano, growling and rumbling just like thunder. Started to fiercely attack the upper register, jackhammering notes with the confidence only 50 plus years of playing beer joints could produce. watched my reaction. No words were necessary. He knew I was hooked. And ladies and gentlemen, that's my history of Boogie Boogie Piano.